grandfather. He came to this country in the 1960s as escaping Cuba, and he lived with us growing up. And my grandfather loved America. He understood what was so special about this country. He loved Ronald Reagan. He would be very proud of the fact that we're here this evening. My grandfather instilled in me the belief that I was blessed to live in the one society in all of human history where even I, the son of a bartender and a maid, could aspire to have anything and be anything that I was willing to work hard to achieve.
There you've got Marco Rubio last night at the Ronald Reagan Library out in Simi Valley, and we've got the senator joining us from California this morning. Senator, good morning to you. You did a great job last night. How did you feel about the format, though, where CNN set it up as all Trump all the time, kind of a food fight where everybody's yelling at each other?
Well, you saw hints of that from the beginning, and I saw some of the promos, and it looked like they were promoting a pay-per-view boxing match. And then, of course, once the thing started, you could see very clearly early on that it was going to be one of these things where if you wanted more time to speak, you were going to have to interrupt somebody and jump in. And, you know, so as the thing worked in, people started doing more of that. But the format was the format. I mean, no matter what happens, you've got to do the best you can in the time allotted to communicate your message. We can disagree about the format. We can like it or unlike it or basically come back later and analyze it. But the key is each of these are an opportunity for us who aspire to the highest office in the land to tell people who we are and what we would do if they give us a chance to be president. And that's what I try to do at all of these debates. So yesterday was just the second one of a series of these, and we'll be at it again, I guess, in 6 or 7 weeks.
Senator, one thing you did remarkably well was make use of the remainder of that time and carve your way in, particularly when it came to speaking Spanish. We're going to let everybody hear what some are saying was your most powerful moment of the night. Watch.
Are you saying that you haven't the knowledge to be the president that Mr. Trump does not have?
Well, that's what well, you should ask him questions in detail about the foreign policy issues our president will confront, because you better be able to lead our country on the first day. Not 6 months from now, not a year from now, on the first day in office.
Yeah, so that was actually another exchange there. So two impact moments that you had, Senator Rubio, there. The first saying, look, I want someone to be able to understand straight from me when I'm speaking Spanish, what's important in this country. The moment we just saw right there, that exchange and that double box split screen, what were you trying to get across there?
Well, there's no more important obligation of the presidency than to keep the country safe. I mean, the president doesn't run the economy. We have those people talking about how many jobs they created when they held this office or that office. Government doesn't create jobs outside of government. The jobs are created by the private sector. The job of policymakers is to create an environment where the private sector creates jobs. But national security is a responsibility of the presidency. Being commander-in-chief is the most important job of a president. And our next president, on their very first day in office, could very well face a global threat. Our enemies aren't going to take a 2-week honeymoon period and wait for the United States president to catch up. They're going to expect you to be ready. They're going to do what they're going to do. And so our country has a right to expect you to be ready on the very first day. And it is important that our candidates for office have taken this seriously as they prepared to run.
And they try to get you to fight with Donald Trump because he was not able to answer you questions on a series of things that you're an expert at because you're on the Foreign Relations Committee in the Senate. Which brings me to I thought you were extraordinary last night. I thought you had 2 great debates. But the one area in which I think you're vulnerable, and I thought your answer was questionable, was your reasons for not showing up for more votes in the Senate because you don't feel like you're getting anything done. Is that adequate for the people that put you there?
No, I've never missed a vote where my vote would make a difference. I've flown across this country to be at votes. Just before this debate, we had a vote on Iran, and we voted, and then we had to fly 6 hours across the country to land here at midnight for a debate the next day. So when there is a vote that's meaningful and serious, we are there and doing our job. And my job is about a lot more than just voting on things that aren't going to change the outcome. It's about constituent service and all sorts of other things that we're involved in doing. But here was my broader point. There is a reason why I chose not to run for re-election and I'm running for president. And the reason is because after a very short time in Washington, it became apparent to me 2 things. Number one, the political class in Washington, D.C., in both parties, are completely out of touch with what's happening in our country, from the debt to people struggling paycheck to insecurity around the world. And I realized, number 2, that the only way we are really going to be able to change that is to elect someone to the presidency. So when I miss a vote in Washington, it's not because I'm out playing golf. It's not because I'm out vacationing or at home watching television. If I miss a vote, it's because I'm out running for president, because I want to lead this country and tackle the issues that Washington and the Senate are unable to tackle, primarily because we don't have a president that will sign or support the meaningful changes that our country needs.
All right.
All right, Marco Rubio joining us after the big debate last night. Thank you very much. By the way, Senator, I thought it was real funny in your opening 30 seconds when you were talking about how you were out in the desert and you had your water handy, very nearby. Good advice,
Yeah.
wise advice.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone knows the importance of water, it's me, right?
Right.
Good. All right.
Senator
Senator,
Marco
thank you
Rubio,
for your
one of the candidates who could be looking at a bump after that debate.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Rubio, thanks so much.
All right, 22 minutes before the top of the hour, there's other news.